Welcome, heroes and civilians, to a Little Fish Super Big Hero 6 review. Welcome back, heroes. Little Fish here, bringing you part 7 of my Super Big Hero 6 review. Today I'll be concluding my review of the Big Hero 6 basic figures released by Bandai, Baymax, Yokai, and Honey Lemon. Now, last review, I mentioned that Wasabi had given me a run for my money because one week he was in every single store, and then a week later, he was completely gone. Now, as difficult as it was to eventually find his figure, I have to admit that the two hardest figures to find were Yokai and even more so Honey Lemon. Never have I seen them in any toy stores, and after quite a bit of searching, I happened to stumble upon them at a chain of pharmacies. By me, it was Walgreens. So if you are still looking for either Yokai or Honey Lemon, I suggest checking Walgreens. I wish you guys luck because I certainly needed it when I was in search of their figures. Let's start our review. We will begin with Baymax. And I do believe that this particular model is going to be one of the stealth figures. So if you don't get him in his red form, you might be able to find him in his stealth form. And again, as mentioned in the last two videos, same number, even though he does have his own. So be careful if you are checking stock because they are all under the same number. These toys are for ages above 4. And this is another one that does not have white Baymax or training Baymax on the back. This one as well. So those are the 3 packages. Let's get them open. So like in the last 2 reviews, simple, super easy way to get them out of the packaging. Just peel off the tape on the sides or cut off the tape, lift the tabs, and pop the backing out. And you've got your figure. And that, again, is the packaging art. It looks like Baymax comes in a few pieces. Instead of having his wings in the packaging, they are taped to the back of the packaging. Let's remove those and put them aside for now. So we have Baymax 2.0. Just squish him out of the packaging. Sometimes it takes a bit of pushing and squishing the packaging to get him out. But we have our Baymax 2.0 figure. It's got a little bit of plastic strings on him. I wonder where that's coming from. Or that's a plastic string or somebody's hair got caught in him. Not sure if you can see that, but that's kind of gross. Person probably got their hair caught right in there. Hopefully nobody got hurt when they were packaging him. So this is the Baymax figure. You can't really see on camera, but he does have some sparkling to him. Might be able to see it a little bit. On camera, he comes off as more of an orangey color, but he is more red than orange. It's got a little bit of plastic chipping, so I'll just try to get that off as well. This is Baymax 2.0. Got a little writing on his butt. Just some code, don't know what it means. This is also a nice purple color. It looks like a pastel purple, kind of bluish color, but it's definitely purple. And let's see if he can move. Oh, his head does move. If you heard that click, he was stuck at first, but once you get him going, his head can move from side to side. Can actually move all the way around. He moves a little bit at the elbow. It can move back and forth, or all the way around. A little bit stiff because of this plastic piece over there. So once I guess you attach the wings, he won't be able to move back all the way. A little bit like that, but this is in the way, keeping him from raising his arm all the way. Let's see if he bends at the elbow. It looks like he should, but he does not. He actually moves over here instead of the elbow. That is kind of tricky there. That totally fooled me. I would have absolutely thought that that would have moved. But it looks like they put the movement in an odd place right here. Kind of looks like his hand will shoot right off, but it will not come off. Give it a nice tug. It is on there for good. And it just spins around. A little strange there. Same thing goes with this arm. Taking a closer look, this shoulder piece actually spins around as well, so you can get a pretty good look inside there. It looks like the piece might pop off, so again, arm moves around. Very, very stiff here, but does move around like that. Does not move at the waist, but his legs do move. Kind of, a little bit. Very stiff, and you can hear him creaking. Oop, and his leg just popped right off. So again, be very careful with these toys. Let's see if we can put it back on. Pops on super easy, but again, be careful because you might lose his leg. And again, like his elbow, you would think that his knees would move, but there is absolutely no articulation in his knees. Just a little bit here, but it's very stiff and definitely feels like his leg is gonna pop off again, so I'm not gonna play with that too much. It's a little bit of a disappointment for this toy. Still a great sculpt, but I kind of expected more movement out of him. Nonetheless, let's take a look at his wings. Alright, so the wings come in a little package that was attached to Baymax's back. Should be simple enough to open it up. And these are the wings. We have a little peg right there to connect to Baymax's back. Same thing with this one. Okay, let's attach them. Looks like they go inside here, and I'm assuming that they snap in like this. Put one right here. There's no snap noise, but it seems that it is clipped in really well. So I guess they fold in like so, and then you can just spread them out. And now you have Baymax in flight. Really cool. And if you do decide that you don't want the wings on his back anymore, they just pop right out. So from the front, you can see how it goes in. Just pop it right in, moves up and down, and now we have our flying Baymax. He does not stand up on his own, just flops right over. So next up we have Yokai, the main villain of the Big Hero 6 film. Really cool villain. He comes in two parts, the full body character figure and with his microbots. Let's take him out. Should be pretty easy. He snaps right out. And the microbot. So this is Yokai out of the packaging. And as a figure, he is pretty awesome. He's got a lot of articulation, so let's take a look at that. His head does move. Right now with his coat on, it does hinder his movements a little bit, but we'll take that off later and see how much he does move. His arm moves up and down, back and forth, and all around. And he does move at the elbow. Not too much, actually. It does move pretty good. It's just incredibly stiff. His wrist does not move at all. This arm moves up and down and around as well. And this elbow does move a little bit better. It is a little smoother until you try to put it out straight, and it does get kind of stuck again. But I guess the more you play with it, the looser it will become. So pretty cool. Doesn't look like he moves at the waist, and he does not. He is solid from the torso down, but he does have movement in his legs. So let's see, he goes up and down and side to side. So all the way around. Nice articulation. And he bends at the knee very, very easily, and no movement at the ankle whatsoever. So let's take a look all around. A close-up at his face with the kabuki mask. And like Wasabi, I love how they give the jacket movement, so it looks like they're in action, which is a really nice touch. Does look like he is wearing tabi socks. Let's see what he looks like without the jacket on. Now the jacket is made out of a rubbery type plastic. It can bend really nicely, but it's very stiff. Got the same hole and peg in the back, so it goes on easily. And this is Yokai from the back. Definitely doesn't look as cool without the jacket. So let's get that jacket back on. See if it's pretty easy. Just gotta get his arm behind him and over his shoulder, and there we go. It's not napping in the back right. Okay, there we go. And let's take a look at his microbots. So these are his dark microbots, or his evil microbots. It looks kind of like a hand now that I'm looking at it, but a 4-fingered hand. See, that would be the thumb, forefinger, maybe the ring finger and the pinky. And that is a spot that will, I guess, go onto his hand. But let's see if I can figure this out. Instead of putting it straight on, it goes on at an angle. So you put it on forward and lift it back. It's not the easiest thing to get on. There we go. So it fits the shape of his hand, and you just kind of have to slide it on. If you have trouble getting it on, little ones, definitely ask your mom or dad. It's not the clearest thing like Wasabi's electric blades, where it just kind of clips in. This, you actually kind of have to puzzle it together. But this is Yokai with the microbots on his hand. So it sits flush with the edge of his sleeve, and it just looks like an extension of his hand. That's pretty cool. And it takes some maneuvering, but once you get his feet in the right position, Yokai does stand on his own, like so. And now, last but not least, we have Honey Lemon. So we have Honey Lemon and her accessories. Her bag is stuck in there pretty tightly. Not sure what this is. And now we have Honey. Really easy to take out. Not sure why, but for some reason, Honey Lemon's figure just doesn't seem quite right. Maybe it has something to do with the eyes? Something else I'm noticing about this figure is that she has barely any movement whatsoever. Oh, her head does move just ever so slightly. You can kind of see that, but it does not move too well side to side. That might be an issue with her hair being in the way, which I do like that they gave it motion like they did Wasabi and Yokai's coat, but it does hinder her movements. Her arms are very stiff, but it moves up and down and out a little bit. There we go, it's very stiff, but it does move in and out and up and down, but she does not have any articulation in the elbows like the rest of the figures. Nothing in the wrists as well. So she's permanently stuck with her arm in a bent position or out like that. You can't move it any which way, and her fingers are in that position. Maybe she should be holding a ball or something, one of her chemical balls. Her arm moves in and out. She's got nice paint on her dress. And does she have any movement in her legs? It looks like she should. There are joints, but she barely has any range of motion whatsoever. You can kind of move it forward and back, but really not too much going on with her. This is really kind of disappointing. Bandai, what happened? It seems like maybe she was one of the first figures that they designed, or later on they decided to add more articulation to the rest of the figures, or maybe it's just because she's so thin that there's no place to put joints for her to move. So let's take a look at her accessories. Okay, she's got a stand so she can stand up. It's kind of strange that she is the only figure out of all 9 that comes with a stand. And this is her bag. It's got the teddy bear, nothing on this side, and you got the teddy butt, and nothing on this side either. So there isn't really any detail on her bag aside from the teddy bear. See, I'm very glad that they added the bear, but it's really disappointing that they didn't add any other features. I mean, they could have at least added the heart, just made a line so it had an outline of the heart, because that's the most important part of the bag. It's where she dials in all of her chemical concoctions, and that's where the balls are supposed to come from. And just added a little bit more color, especially to the balls around the edge. They could have added at least the pinks and the purples. If you try to put it over her head, it kind of fits a little bit, but it can't fit over her hair. So let's try this. Put her arm up. And she can't hold the bag like that, so that's pretty good. But her arm doesn't bend, so it doesn't even look like she can channel in the chemicals. And because of her hair, you can't get it over this arm. Let's give it a shot anyway. Get it over her elbow. It definitely would have been a lot easier to put on if you could move her elbow, or at least get it around her hair. So it looks like her hand is modeled to hold the bag. So it looks like she's holding on to it. Her hair definitely makes it look very strange because it doesn't sit on her shoulder. And she can kind of look like she's trying to dial in the chemical compounds, but it just doesn't look right. And that's Honey Lemon. I really wish that there was more articulation, maybe a little bit more of an expression on her face, smiling, or she just needs some more life in her. I just wanted to let Honey Lemon try on Yokai's jacket, and again, because of the articulation and her hair, you just can't get it on. So yeah, Honey Lemon. Awesome that she comes with a base and her bag, but could definitely use some work. Hiro definitely looks better in the jacket than Honey Lemon, doesn't he? What do you guys think? And just something, because I have Hiro out, is with the articulation in these, if you play with them too much, they fall apart. Granted, I have not played too much with this Hiro figure. I was just putting his hand through Yokai's jacket and his wrist came right off. Luckily, it is super easy to fix. You just pop it right back in. But again, this is why these toys are for ages over 4, because the small pieces do come off, and they seem to come off pretty easily. So you want to avoid giving these to small children, and especially keep them out of the way of pets. So these are the 3 Bandai Basic figures for today: Baymax 2.0, Yokai, and Honey Lemon. I have to say, despite my disappointment in the Honey Lemon figure, that these figures are all incredible. Bandai did a superb job. They could have all been stagnant figures with no mobility at all, and the fact that they move and you can add certain parts is awesome. So great job, Bandai. I hope that maybe you guys make some figures in their civilian clothes, because that would be super. But until then, we have the stealth mode coming out, and I can't wait to see those. And I really look forward to what you guys have in store for us in the future, especially the figures that are rumored to be coming out for the Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir series. I can't wait to see those, because if they're anything like these, they are going to be awesome! So, heroes, in the comments below, let me know what you guys think of these figures. Do you agree with my thoughts on Honey Lemon? Do you guys own any of these figures? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and for further content, follow me on Instagram and Tumblr. And until next time, heroes! Next time on Little Fish Super Big Hero 6 Review,